Have you ever felt excited about a new goal, a business idea, a fitness journey, a dream project, a life-changing plan, and before you even began, you told everyone about it? Your friends, your family, your coworkers, social media, anyone willing to listen. For a moment, it felt wonderful. People praised you, encouraged you, admired your ambition. But then something strange happened. The excitement slowly disappeared. The motivation faded. The plan remained unfinished. And months later, you found yourself exactly where you started. If that sounds familiar, tonight's story may change the way you think about success forever. It is the story of a young man who learned that some dreams grow best in silence. Some goals become stronger when protected. And sometimes the most powerful move is not announcing your next step, but quietly taking it. So relax, let your thoughts settle, and journey with me into a small village where one simple lesson transformed a life. Long ago, in a peaceful valley surrounded by mountains and rivers, there lived a young craftsman named Lucas. Lucas was intelligent, hardworking, creative, and full of ideas. In fact, ideas were never his problem. He had plenty of them. One month he wanted to start a furniture business. The next month he wanted to write a book. Then he dreamed of building a workshop. After that, he planned to travel the world. Every few weeks, a new dream captured his attention. And every time it happened, Lucas made the same mistake. He told everyone. Whenever inspiration struck, he would rush into town. He would tell his friends about his latest plan. At the marketplace, he would explain his vision to merchants. At dinner, he would share every detail with his family. Soon, everyone knew what Lucas intended to do, and everyone had an opinion. Some people loved his ideas. Others doubted them. A few openly laughed. But no matter what they said, the result was always the same. Months later, nothing had happened. The plans remained plans. The dreams remained dreams. And Lucas felt increasingly frustrated. One evening, after abandoning yet another project, Lucas sat beside a river. The water flowed peacefully beneath the moonlight. He picked up a stone and tossed it into the water. Ripples spread outward, then disappeared. Much like his ambitions, big at first, gone soon after. As he sat there, an old man approached. He carried a lantern and walked with the calm confidence of someone who had seen many years. The old man was known throughout the valley as Elias. Some called him a carpenter, others called him a builder, but most people simply called him wise. Elias sat beside Lucas. For a while, neither spoke. They simply listened to the river. Finally, Elias asked, "Why do you look so troubled?" Lucas sighed. "I have dreams." The old man smiled. "That's usually a good thing. Not when none of them become reality." Lucas explained everything: the unfinished projects, the failed goals, the constant cycle of excitement and disappointment. When he finished, Elias nodded thoughtfully. Then he asked a simple question. "How many people know about your plans before you begin?" Lucas laughed. "Almost everyone." Elias smiled. "And how many people know about your completed projects?" Lucas became quiet. There were very few. The old builder pointed toward the mountains. In the distance stood a magnificent stone tower. It was one of the tallest structures in the valley. "Do you know who built that tower?" Elias asked. Lucas nodded. "You did?" "Correct." "Do you know when people first heard about it?" Lucas thought for a moment. "When construction began?" Elias shook his head. "No." "When the foundation was laid?" Again, Elias shook his head. The villagers only learned about the tower when it was already halfway finished. Lucas looked surprised. Why? The old builder smiled. Because foundations grow best without an audience. The words lingered in the cool night air. Lucas frowned. I'm not sure I understand. Elias picked up a small seed from the ground. Tell me, Lucas. What happens if I dig up this seed every day to check whether it's growing? It dies, Lucas replied. Exactly. The old man nodded. Many dreams suffer the same fate. Lucas listened carefully. Elias continued. When a goal is young, it is fragile. It needs effort, consistency, patience. But when you share it with everyone too early, something changes. You begin receiving opinions before you have results, doubt before confidence, attention before achievement. The river flowed quietly beside them. The old builder stared into the water. Some people will discourage you, not because they hate you, but because they cannot see what you see. Others will praise you. But sometimes praise can be just as dangerous. Lucas looked confused. Dangerous? Elias nodded. When people congratulate you before you've done the work, your mind feels rewarded. You receive satisfaction without earning it. And slowly, your motivation begins to disappear. Lucas thought about all the projects he had abandoned. The excitement, the conversations, the compliments, the attention. Perhaps the old man was right. Perhaps he had been collecting praise instead of progress. That night, Elias shared one final piece of advice. For the next 6 months, choose one goal. Tell no one. Not your friends. Not your family. Not the villagers. Let your actions speak before your words. Lucas hesitated. The challenge felt strange, almost impossible. He had always enjoyed talking about his dreams. Keeping them secret felt uncomfortable. But something deep inside told him to try. The next morning, Lucas made a decision. He would build the workshop he had dreamed about for years. A place where he could create beautiful furniture and useful tools. But this time, he would remain silent. Days turned into weeks. Every morning before sunrise, Lucas worked quietly. He gathered wood. He studied designs. He practiced new techniques. He made mistakes. He improved. And whenever he felt tempted to tell someone about his plans, he remembered Elias's words. Foundations grow best without an audience. The first month was difficult. No one noticed his progress. No one praised his effort. No one encouraged him. At times, he questioned whether the work mattered. But he continued. One day at a time. One board at a time. One improvement at a time. The second month brought new challenges. Friends asked what he had been doing. Lucas simply smiled. Working on something. That was all he said. The fewer words he used, the more energy remained for action. For the first time in his life, Lucas noticed something remarkable. His progress was accelerating. Without endless conversations, he had more time. Without defending his ideas, he had more focus. Without seeking approval, he had more confidence. Silence became his advantage. As summer arrived, the framework of the workshop began to rise. Hidden among trees beyond the village, it slowly took shape. Beam by beam, wall by wall, day by day. Nobody knew, and for the first time, Lucas loved it that way. One afternoon, while carrying supplies, he encountered a group of villagers. "What have you been working on lately?" one asked. Lucas smiled. "A little bit of everything." The villagers laughed and continued on their way. For years, Lucas would have explained every detail. Now, He simply kept moving. Months passed. Autumn leaves painted the valley in shades of gold and crimson. And finally, after 6 months of steady effort, the workshop was complete. Strong, beautiful, functional. Everything he had imagined, perhaps even better. On the morning he opened its doors, the villagers were stunned. Nobody had expected it. Nobody had seen it coming. People gathered to admire the craftsmanship. Customers began arriving. Orders followed. Success followed. And for the first time, Lucas experienced something new. Results. Real results. Not plans, not promises, not announcements. Results. That evening, Lucas returned to the river. The moon reflected on the water, just as it had 6 months earlier. Soon, Elias appeared carrying his lantern. The old builder sat beside him. "You seem different," Elias said. Lucas smiled. "I am." The old man nodded. "What changed?" Lucas looked toward the distant workshop. Then he answered, "I stopped talking." Both men laughed. Elias picked up another stone and tossed it into the river. The ripples spread across the surface, then slowly disappeared. "Most people want attention before achievement," the old man said. "They announce every goal, every dream, every idea. But successful people understand something important." "What is that?" Lucas asked. Elias smiled. "Dreams are like fires. Too much wind can extinguish them. The early stages must be protected, nurtured, fed quietly. Only then do they become strong enough to shine." Lucas sat quietly, absorbing the lesson. The stars appeared above the valley. The river continued its endless journey. And for the first time, he understood why so many of his previous goals had failed. They had never been given a chance to grow. They had been exposed too early, judged too early, discussed too early. Years later, Lucas became one of the most respected craftsmen in the region. People often visited him seeking advice. They expected complicated strategies, secret techniques, special formulas. Instead, Lucas usually shared a simple lesson. When your next dream arrives, don't rush to announce it. Build it, strengthen it, protect it. Then let your results introduce it to the world. Some people listened, others didn't. But those who followed the advice often returned years later with stories of success. Not because silence is magical, but because silence creates focus, and focus creates progress. As time passed, Lucas came to realize something even deeper. The purpose of silence was never secrecy, it was commitment. When nobody is watching, when nobody is applauding, when nobody is praising your effort, the only thing that remains is the work itself. And that is where true growth begins. Tonight, as you prepare to sleep, remember this. Not every goal needs an announcement. Not every dream needs approval. Not every plan needs an audience. Sometimes the strongest move is to work quietly, to improve consistently, to build patiently, to let your actions speak louder than your intentions. The world is full of people talking about what they will do. Far fewer are quietly doing it. Be one of those people. Protect your vision. Trust the process. Stay focused on the work. And remember, the seed that grows in silence often becomes the strongest tree in the forest. Close your eyes. Rest peacefully. And let tomorrow's progress speak louder than today's promises. Good night.